Morning children, Sekatsy here. In today's video, I'll be talking about the chapter Respiratory System. Before we begin, let's talk a little bit about the process respiration as a whole. You see, every plant, animal, or practically any other organism uses energy for its activities. And in order to get this energy, it needs to respire. So respiration is basically the process of releasing energy by breaking down the glucose obtained from food needed for the various activities of the body. This breakdown of glucose occurs by utilizing oxygen, which we breathe in along with air. During this process, the food is oxidized to release energy. However, there are a few organisms recognized which do not need this oxygen for respiration. They can break down the glucose even in the absence of oxygen, producing energy in a slightly different method. Thus, we observe two different kinds of respiration occurring in organisms. If the organism uses oxygen for the breakdown of food, they are said to undergo aerobic respiration. And if the organism doesn't use oxygen, they are said to undergo anaerobic respiration. Now let's study in detail about the respiratory system in humans. The human respiratory system consists of the following parts: the outermost nose, the pharynx, the larynx, the bronchi, and finally the lungs. The nose serves as the entry point of air, each having two nostrils in them, leading the air into the nasal chamber. The lining of the nasal chamber has hair and is covered with a sticky substance called as mucus, which helps trap the dust and germs coming in with air. As we move down further, we come across the common passage of air called as the pharynx. It leads down into the air pipe called as the windpipe or trachea. At the entrance of the trachea, there is a voice box called the larynx. It contains two membranes called the vocal cords, which vibrate when air is forced out of them. Thus, the voice box, as the name suggests, helps us to speak. The front opening of the windpipe is guarded by a muscular flap called as the epiglottis. It is a very important structure because it closes the windpipe at the time of swallowing food. Incomplete closure of the epiglottis during swallowing causes coughing as food enters wrongly into the windpipe. This can be quite painful. Moving down, the windpipe gets further divided into two branches near the middle of the chest, each branch called as the bronchi. The inner lining of the windpipe is strengthened by C-shaped rings of cartilage, preventing it from collapsing on itself. Okay? Now each bronchus enters into a lung, getting divided inside further into smaller structures called as bronchioles. At the end of these bronchioles, microscopic air sacs called alveoli are found. These alveoli are supplied with blood capillaries, thus helping in gaseous exchange. The last structure to be discussed is the lung itself. These are two in number, the left one being slightly smaller than the right one, so that there is enough space for the heart. The left lung is also divided into two lobes, but the right one is divided into three lobes. These lungs rest on a muscular sheet which internally divides the body into two cavities: the chest cavity, also known as the thoracic cavity, and the abdominal cavity below it. With this, we come to the end of the video. In the next video, we are going to discuss in detail about the structures present inside the lungs and the gaseous exchange process occurring inside it. Till then, stay safe and goodbye.